Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Believe in best.
Coming up tonight, police investigating a murder on Independence morning. Meanwhile, the Bahamas monitoring the situation over in Haiti and what one group is doing to protect coral reefs. Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us this Independence evening. I'm Jared Higgs. Topping news tonight, police are investigating the shooting death of a man this morning that has left them with few clues. According to police press liaison officer ASP Audley Peters, the incident took place on Sunset Park.
Shortly before 7 this morning, police were alerted to a shooting incident that occurred in Sunset Park. The first responding officers on their arrival at Palmetto Drive, Sunset Park, they met a male lying on the ground with wounds consistent with gunshots. EMS visited the scene and pronounced the male lifeless. The information is somewhat sketchy at this time, and so we appeal to members of the public who may have any information with this concerning this incident to contact the nearest police station.
Peter says if you have information, you can also contact the Criminal Investigation Department. He says police didn't get a good sense of what happened when they first visited the scene.
Because we met him there, and it's a community, and we had to do canvassing, and that information is not correlated as yet to say what actually happened.
Friday night's police report noted that police found 2 unlicensed firearms on Laird Street. Nobody was arrested there, but police want more information about where illegal guns are so they can take them off the street.
We also want to continue to appeal to members of the public who know of individuals who are in possession of firearms to also contact us so that we can act and prevent these incidents from occurring.
The assassination of the Haitian president early Wednesday morning has many questioning the possibility of civil unrest and what it could mean for the Bahamas. Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield says the minister's administration is bracing for that possibility.
Civil unrest in Haiti always invariably negatively impacts upon the Bahamas. We know the issues that we have in the maritime domain and the maritime space with irregular migration, and so of course, we're going to take all of the necessary security steps that we need to take to secure the Bahamian borders.
Leaders across the globe reacted with horror at the news that the president had been brutally murdered at his home, located in a prominent neighborhood on the outskirts of Port-au-Prince. Moises' wife, Martine Moise, was also shot and injured during the attack by a group of men who appeared to be foreigners, according to reports. Now, according to the Associated Press, the Haitian National Police Chief Leon Charles said 17 suspects have been detained in the killing of Moise. Those suspects are mostly Colombian and include 2 Haitian Americans. They were paraded in front of the Haitian media at a news conference on Thursday morning. Colombian government officials confirmed that at least a few of the men arrested are former Colombian military personnel. Haitian police say 8 men are still at large. Meanwhile, here at home, police are warning of a string of car break-ins at beaches in western New Providence. Head of the Cable Beach Police Station, Chief Superintendent Zhivago Dames.
If we just look at the last 3 weeks in total, we would have had at least 7 to 10 stealing from vehicles on our beaches, whether it be here at Goodman's Bay, at Sanders Beach, or the beaches down at Sun Fun, those beaches, Orange Beach, we have seen an increase in stealing from vehicles.
Dames is warning residents to be vigilant and to take common sense measures to protect their property.
In general, personal items are targeted. Loose change, wallets, laptops, and the likes. Ways to help mitigate against stealing from vehicles. Ensure that your vehicles are locked and your windows are properly up when leaving your vehicles unattended. Install an audible alarm. Be on the alert. When you come to the beaches, ensure that you are on the alert.
REV TV welcomes the inquiry by IRCA regarding customer complaints of its cable TV service and plans to be fully cooperative. In a statement released on Friday, REV said Cable Bahamas has a track record of transparency and cooperation with utility regulators. We communicate regularly with them in quarterly reports and participate actively in the consumer protection complaint process. Many of these complaints stem from the limitations of Cable Bahamas' legacy technology, the statement read. There are some technical issues which we can and are addressing now while investing in upgrades to resolve the more systemic challenges. We want our REV TV customers to know that we hear them and remain committed to delivering the best TV experience on the market. Our repackaging strategy, now approved by IRCA, will begin by offering customers more choices and control over their TV viewing experience. Now, in a statement announcing that it had approved the restructuring of REV cable TV packages, IRCA said complaints regarding Cable Bahamas service quality was a recurring theme. In addition to public complaints, IRCA is aware of persistent and wide-scale service interruptions in the form of error messages consistently appearing on screen, regular service outages at 2 a.m., pixelated channels, and other issues. Cable Bahamas Chief Executive Officer Franklin Butler said that REV TV might only be one service offered by Cable Bahamas, but its mandate is the same as every other division to ensure Cable Bahamas is a leader in connected lifestyles and experiences. Today, REV Internet is consistently recognized as the fastest network in the Bahamas by international performance raters. He added that REV Media is the leading content creator for local Bahamian TV. Coming up on our news, leaders offer independence messages of hope, and Hands for Hunger sees an uptick in demand. Stay with us for that.
My name is Phaedra Makino. I got REV Fiber early January, February 2021. I decided to change to REV Fiber because I'm currently working from home. I'm constantly on Zoom meetings, go to meetings. My son is a gamer, and we stream a lot. So far, it's been a very good experience. When I'm on meetings, I don't lag, I don't buffer, I don't drop. I'm not dropping. He's gaming, he's not lagging. When we're streaming, there's not much buffering going on, so it's been quite a rewarding experience. I would tell persons who have not gotten on the fiber to the home to please convert to fiber to the home. A lot of us are working from home, the kids are coming home for the summer, and we're all on our devices, and the experience has been really, really stable internet consistently.
Prime Minister Dr. Rupert Minnis offering an independence message of hope during a televised independence celebration aired on Friday night. While noting that the pandemic has caused widespread challenges for the country, Minnis posited that the country's recovery is well underway.
This Independence Day, there is hope for a better future emerging out of this global health emergency. The theme for this year's Independence, a celebration of life, revive us again, is consequently so fitting. To help the revival of our economy and country, the government is investing heavily in infrastructure across the Commonwealth to ensure that all parts of the country are able to fully benefit from the economic revival that is underway.
Opposition leader Philip Brave Davis also gave recorded remarks during the ceremony where he urged Bahamians to continue to push to achieve more.
The accomplishments of the past were achieved by those who dared to dream differently, those who dared to do things differently, those who dared to stand up for justice and equality to bring about a different reality in our Bahamas. And now, we too must seize the moment, dare to craft a new vision for our country, one that is better able to deliver on the promise of independence.
The demand for food assistance at Hands for Hunger continues to increase. That's according to Hands for Hunger volunteer and community events coordinator Precious Fortune Thompson, who says they're doing what they can to keep up with feeding thousands of families. Jasmine Brown reports.
The demand has steadily continued to increase. We have not seen a decrease for persons coming in requesting food support.
That's how the Hands for Hunger volunteer and events coordinator explained the increasing demand from families looking to put food on the table during the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the course of the pandemic, Hands for Hunger and other feeding programs have remained committed to helping individuals with food. Thompson says so far, Hands for Hunger has been able to help those in need.
That makes me feel good that persons have an avenue or a place that they can reach out to for any sort of food assistance.
Last year, the government established a food assistance program. Officials have said that more than $34 million has been spent on the program so far. It has been extended several times since last August. In January, National Food Distribution Task Force Chairwoman Susan Larson said the task force, which had just started its third phase, was helping 18,000 households. Thompson says Hands for Hunger has had a hand in helping feed thousands of people.
What makes me happy, because I love what I do, is that we're able to continue to support thousands of families in general across the Bahamas.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
When our news comes back from the break, what one team is doing to protect coral reefs, stay with us for that.
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits. Venture into unknown territory. We take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV Cable Channel 212 and streaming live on Facebook on the R News Bahamas page.
Providing both beauty and protection to paradise, coral reefs have been under threat not only from global warming, but coral diseases too. In this edition of Grand Bahama in Focus, our Jillian Gray speaks with a team in the Second City who are helping corals to bounce back more resiliently.
This was grown in 7 or 8 months. Wow. So instead of 7 or 8 years to grow to this size, 7 or 8 months. And that means we can grow many different species of coral. We can grow them at a much more affordable rate. We can increase the diversity. And it's absolutely incredible to see something take months or years instead of decades or centuries.
Meet Sam Teicher. He's the co-founder of Coral Vida, a local nonprofit on Grand Bahama that's leading the charge in revitalizing coral reefs. Nearly 80% of reefs in the Bahamas are dead or dying. Teicher says they've seen their fair share of storms as well, as just a few months after they launched, they were hit by Hurricane Dorian.
We were told when we were building it, we don't need to worry about it flooding here, because if it floods here at our farm, it means the whole island's underwater, and that's exactly what happened. It was up to 17 feet, so pretty much as high as these beams of storm surge here. So the tank that I'm standing next to, a bunch of these actually washed out to sea. Remarkably, we found them, some of them as far away as 30 miles in High Rock. The farm itself acts as an education center for Bahamians, as well as a tourism attraction. People coming off the cruise ship looking for something fun, exciting to do. There's a really interactive coral farm here that they can visit, like visiting an aquarium. COVID happens, obviously no tourists are coming through.
If Dorian and the pandemic weren't enough, there's also a coral pandemic they're battling.
Just like we're all dealing with the pandemic right now, there are coral diseases. And most coral diseases, they might affect 1, 2, 3% of corals. And over several years, they'll kill part of a coral, but the rest of it will survive. This disease kills it affects half of coral species. Wow. And once a coral gets infected, within several months, it could die. So you could see a big brain coral that could have taken 100, 200 years to grow, and within a month, it's gone. So I was asked earlier, we grow 8 species of coral. We were growing 24 before Dorian. We're now not growing the sort of susceptible species until this underwater pandemic kind of burns out.
From sustaining fisheries to attracting tourists, regrowing corals is important work. It can even save lives. As Teicher says, the barriers of coral reefs and mangroves helped many Grand Bahamians during Monster Storm Dorian.
We asked, how are you guys still here? It's remarkable, right? And you guys saw the ongoing rebuilding process, and I'm sure heard plenty of stories. And person after person after person pointed to the mangrove forests that surrounded Sweeting's Key, and they said they slowed down the storm surge enough for them to get to their neighbor's house to get to higher grounds. Unfortunately, in McLeanstown, just 20 minutes away, a lot of those mangroves were gone, and the death toll was much higher. Mangroves, coral reefs, they're not just beautiful ecosystems, they literally save people's lives.
But how exactly do they grow coral reefs on land? It all starts with a broken piece of coral, a nail, and a waterbed. Add in a few underwater helpers and you're growing corals in half the time than it takes in the wild.
All this empty space, like anything that lives in salt water, eventually it's going to get covered by algae. There's good types of algae, there's less good types of algae. The algae that grows on here basically is battling it out with the coral for space. So we want to keep this clean so the coral's got room to grow. And so that's what the fish and all the other creatures are doing. They're basically our landscaping crew.
Oh, and does the landscaping crew kind of have a salary as well?
They get paid in food.
As coral reefs are so important, Sam says everyone should think about supporting, and that's not hard to do. Simply log on to coralvita.co to adopt a coral. Reporting for R News from Grand Bahama, I'm Jillian Gray.
A Grammy-nominated artist is pushing for more love in the country. We'll tell you how when our news comes back from the break.
Are you okay?
No. Yeah, I got. That's supposed to happen.
Listen. Wait. Where's your heart? Where is your compassion? Do you have a soul?
Hey, Jimbo, clear my schedule for the rest of the day, eh?
Who do you go, boy? Yeah, bro. And what are the chances we can actually operate on the patient? Come on, man. Surgery will begin in 2300 hours, okay?
So, we two are rappers, right? These rappers, man.
Silly girls, pretty girls, ghetto girls, pretty girls, kind girls, funny girls, yeah, we got all kind of girls.
T on the track, T on the mic. First I was in the Honda, now I on the bike. I tell her hop on back, she holding on my back. I threw the Y back, straight back, 12 o'clock. Too much girls to choose from like any, many, mighty, mo.
A Grammy-nominated artist is set to release a new song and video on Monday aimed at getting more people to feel that love is coming back. And the inspiration came from a quaint little island we've grown to know and love as Harbor Island. Kyle Joaquin has the story.
The lyrics say it as plainly as can be. Love's coming back. And that's the message Grammy Award-winning Eurythmics co-founder Dave Stewart wants to pass on.
It's a really good thing. And so if people think to themselves, love's coming back, hear the song and it makes them feel like that, that's for me the job done, you know.
The song and video take place on beautiful Harbor Island and is a rallying anthem intended to raise the morale of the people of the Bahamas and around the world, especially during a tough time battling a global pandemic.
Now we're talking about the Bahamas here, right? But I think there'll be people all over the world will see it and see the Bahamas and how sweet and adoring the people are and how beautiful the place is. And from the perspective of visitors to the Bahamas, I think it'll have a positive influence. And I think for Bahamian people to hear it repeated on the radio, the phrase, love's coming back, give people some kind of, hope.
Local radio stations will come to a stop and hit play on Love is Coming Back on Tuesday, July 13th at 11 a.m. Proceeds will be used to raise funds in support of youth and environmental projects managed by the Bryland Aid Organization and the Bahamas National Trust.
At the stroke of midnight on July the 12th, there'll be lovescomingback.com. So just love's coming back, not loveiscomingback.com. And you will see, you can see the video and there'll be a link to all of the places where you can get the song, whether it's Deezer, Tidal, Apple, Spotify. You can watch it, go to YouTube. Then there'll be links to be able to donate.
The 7-time Grammy nominee is a world-renowned musician and producer and co-founder of the Eurythmics.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
But he's found something special on Harbor Island. With his own recording studio on the island, Stewart stumbled upon a talented 19-year-old whose voice graces this new track.
But I always thought she had such a great voice, a tone to her voice. So she delivers these verses, and then the chorus in between the simple things, not so simple anymore, but love's coming back, love's coming back. And in the end, it just turns into a huge love's coming back gospel kind of, a positive kind of statement. Every word that you speak, it's an affirmation. And if you repeat, certain positive things, it's obviously, as the natural empress will tell you, it's a really good thing.
And he's fallen in love with the Bahamas, spending all of his time during the pandemic on Harbor Island. Stewart says there's a lot of Bahamian talent he hopes will one day make it big.
You see, already Diana, who is the local girl from the island, I think has a great soul voice. She's not singing in a soul kind of way on this particular song, but her natural way to sing it's very beautiful tone to her voice. And I honestly think that there are probably many Bahamian artists and talent out there.
For Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. To catch our news on the go, download the REV Go Play app. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Jared Higgs. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Happy Independence, Bahamas.